Hello and welcome to Start Select. I'm Guy Cocker, this is Jane Douglas, and this is the video game show beamed to you from the GameSpot UK headquarters in classic glasses-free 2D.
Just like in the old days. This week we've mostly been taking 3D photos of ourselves with the Nintendo 3DS's 3D camera in 3D, also with sparkle mode on. But you can't see the 3D, sorry.
Also this week were the Video Game BAFTAs. That's right, the Video Game British Academy of Film and Television Awards. That doesn't make any sense, but it's coming up on the show, and we'll have all the news from the night courtesy of Mark.
And Guy takes a trip to Slightly Mad Studios studio in London to see how they're getting on with Need for Speed Shift 2, or Shift 2 Unleashed, to give it its proper title.
Shift 2 Unleashed, Need for Speed, whatever it's
Really?
called.
Okay.
Then we're running down the new and nearly here releases of the week, as well as your feedback.
Plus we're giving away an Xbox 360 console with painterly platformer De Blob 2, with 4 copies of De Blob 2 for runners-up. Sounds good, right? On with the show.
The Video Game BAFTAs, where celebrity video game entertainment system owners rub shoulders with award-winning and probably not quite as cool award-nominated game developers. The industry doesn't get any more glamorous or exciting than this. Speaking of glamorous and exciting, our very own Mark Walton reports from the London Hilton ceremony.
Also said forward.
Oh, fuck.
Hey, this is Mark Walton for GameSpot UK. We're here at the 5th British Academy Video Game Awards, an annual pat on the back and knees up for the games industry that recognises some of the year's best titles. The likes of Heavy Rain, Mass Effect 2, Mario Galaxy 2 and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood have been nominated, and they'll all be battling it out for the illustrious Best Game Award. No sign of Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption though, presumably because they got drunk celebrating GameSpot's Game of the Year award and forgot to send the forms in. And if that's not enough excitement for you, we'll also be speaking to Mr. Peter Molyneux about his BAFTA Fellowship Award, and we'll also be talking to the guests, nominees, winners, and maybe even the losers to find out if they know their 3DS from their NGP. Alright guys, so Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is up for a lot, well it's up in a lot of categories this year. What are you hoping to win?
That's hard to say. Yeah, any awards would be great actually. We're just crossing our fingers. We're against a very strong competition this year. So, it's something that you wish for, but you don't necessarily expect to win anything. It's just, if we do, then it's all good.
2010, a big year for gaming. What were your highlights?
Let's see, I really enjoyed a number of the blockbusters, Mass Effect and Red Dead, and FIFA was very, very good. But what I thought, the one that lingers with me are Limbo and Heavy Rain, both for doing something completely different. And I think it'd be very interesting if either of those won the award.
Congratulations, you've been nominated for the BAFTA Fellowship Award. I mean, how does it feel to be given it?
I mean, it's an amazing, incredible feeling. I mean, I actually didn't sleep at all last night because just going through my mind was just the last 22 years when I first started 22 years ago with this crazy idea of doing a game, and now to be standing and receiving BAFTA Fellowship is amazing. I mean, it is really an award not just for me but all the people I've worked with over the years, but an incredible film.
Are you ready? I'm ready. Oh, hold on. We need some sound effects.
And the BAFTA goes to...
And the BAFTA goes to...
The BAFTA goes to...
The BAFTA goes to...
This is it, and the BAFTA goes to...
It's Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
Battlefield Bad Company 2.
Heavy Rain.
Mass Effect 2! Yes!
On many levels, this is an incredibly exciting achievement. At the studio level, you've got the guys hard at work back at BioWare Edmonton who are crafting away on Mass Effect 3, and they win an award like this for Mass Effect 2, and they're already trying to make the best possible game they can in the next part of this franchise, and they win an award for this, and so it spurs them on. And then, EA as a publisher, I think it's hugely important.
Well, congratulations on your BAFTA. I mean, how does it feel?
Oh, really terrible. I mean, awful. I mean, shockingly bad. No, amazing. Absolutely amazing. We couldn't have hoped for more. I think it's just, we didn't really make Kinect Sports to win awards. It was just like, hey, can we do something fun and accessible and relatable with this bizarre Kinect thing? And who knew? Several million people later, it's like, it's done really well. So yeah, we're really, really happy.
Congratulations on the award, guys. First of the night. How does it feel to have got this one?
It feels amazing. It feels amazing. It's just great.
It's just nice to be recognized as an art form and have like the award to prove it.
It feels absolutely amazing. I must admit, we looked at the competition tonight and we weren't really sure how it was going to go, but there's a lot of great games there, and this was our first attempt, and you know, it was really a massive shock to win, but a massive honour as well.
Best multiplayer, very well done. So, I mean, how does it feel for you guys right now?
Honestly, I know a lot of people say this, and I've seen lots of people at award ceremonies go, I was really surprised when we won. Actually, genuinely, we were really surprised.
Congratulations on your awards. I mean, how does it feel?
Oh, great. Big relief, I would say, a big relief, you know. It's and it was so a wonderful experience to do this project. I wish it will happen, you know, in the future, but when you are doing this, you say, oh my God, you know, I wish that it will not be the only one I will get, you know, as ever, you know, because it's a team dream, I think.
2010 then for games. Are you a big gamer yourself?
I am a big gamer. I always have been. So I had no friends at school. It was a big thing for me.
You genuinely have no friends at school, really?
Genuinely had no friends at school. I was very geeky, very lonely, and very introvert. So this is what I used to spend all my time doing. You know, SNES was my boyfriend growing up, essentially. I'm quite into Halo now because I'm not very strong or skillful or just capable as a human being, and I get to live through the characters with skill and force and strength and weapons, and it's a nice escapism.
Yeah, it's great. Do you play online then?
I don't play online because I don't really favour being beaten by 11-year-olds. And also they're quite abusive. I tried it. They're really abusive. I felt so bad about myself. I couldn't get out of bed for days.
Worst internet comment you've ever had? Well, online comment if you have played online.
Nothing that I can say on camera. Nothing that I can say on camera. My mother might be watching this. It was really bad. Their mother might be watching this.
Now, have you guys seen the 3DS yet? And if so, what do you think about it?
Just got our hands on it, didn't we?
Just got our hands on it. Just played it. I think it's unbelievable.
I just used one for the first time ever about 10 seconds ago, and it was absolutely thrilling. It's holographic. It's amazing.
Well, that's it for the awards this evening, but we are now joined by our very own Guy Cocker and Jane Douglas, who were, you were inside schmoozing away, weren't you, really?
I'm working, also working.
I was watching relentlessly.
So the awards, and there were some shock surprises this evening. I know, what was your pick?
So F1 winning. So I was on the table. I was on with numerous. I don't know which mic I'm going to. But numerous media people there. We were all kind of having mini bets on each round, and I think we all thought that FIFA 11 or Football Manager was going to win Sports Award. Then Formula One takes it, massive shock, and then God of War for artistic achievement. I think everything else was as expected, and Heavy Rain, great, won 3 awards.
3 awards, yeah.
Big winner of the night, great game, happy for that.
What about yourself, Jane?
Well, nothing for Limbo, I thought was a bit of a surprise because it was nominated in quite a few categories, and I think Dara Bring was commiserating with it because he likes that one. But Heavy Rain, yeah, well deserved, 3 awards, so that's the big winner. And then Mass Effect 2 gets Best Game Award, so that's the big deal. And also Cut the Rope for Best Handheld. I thought that was interesting and kind of nice, actually.
Great stuff. Well, that's it from us here at the Park Lane Hilton in London. The winners are already partying and recklessly misplacing their shiny golden trophies. The losers are, well, they're probably drinking themselves stupid, commiserating with each other, and probably stealing someone's golden trophy. We're off to congratulate the winners, chat up some more Z-list celebrities, and try and nab ourselves a trophy. So with that, goodbye. That's a very nice dress room, I've got to say that. No, matches the lipstick very well.
Oh yes, I tried.
2009's Need for Speed Shift by British developer Slightly Mad Studios shifted EA's racing franchise into more simulation-like territory. Its follow-up Shift 2 Unleashed takes it still further. Guy nipped down to Slightly Mad Studios headquarters to talk to Andy Tudor about the game and its makers.
Hey guys, I'm Guy Cocker for GameSpot UK, and I'm here just down the road from our London office to come and see Slightly Mad Studios. Now the team is putting the finishing touches to Shift 2 Unleashed, so let's go and meet the designers and check it out.
Andy Tudor, lead designer at Slightly Mad Studios, and we're here to talk about Shift 2 Unleashed. When we approach this kind of game and a sequel in particular, you want to make sure that you're heading in a very definite direction. But you also want to make sure that you're not just ticking items off a checklist. So although we're kind of playing in the sim racing space, we want to make sure that we're also flipping it on its head as well. So we're not just going to be adding in features just because another game happens to have those. What we want to do is take it back to its roots. You know, that was our approach in Shift 1 as well. It was, you know, we're coming into this area of circuit racing, and the most important thing is being behind the wheel and feeling that you're going fast, which is something that we felt other games hadn't really captured. And that's what then led to the cockpit view. You know, people weren't using the cockpit view. Well, why isn't that? It's the most, it's the iconic, it's the best place to be behind the wheel in a car. So we had, you know, we looked at those kind of things and realised that, well, it's because it feels like you're in a widescreen letterbox format, because it's so constricting having the sun visor and the wheel and the dashboard in front of you. It felt constricting. Well, we've got to change that. Lots of games have had night racing in the past, but none of them have really done it justice to the feedback that we're getting from real life drivers, our own experiences of night racing. You know, if I was to ask you, for example, like, remember a time when you were driving in the night, you won't probably remember the time when you were nipping out to the supermarket or something. You'll remember that time when you went to visit a friend along a country road and it was absolutely pitch black and maybe it was a bit foggy and you had your full beams on and you still couldn't see 2 feet in front of the car. And that's the same kind of feedback that the real drivers are giving us. They're saying, look, I've got this amazing car with these huge high beams and I still can't see the corner coming up. And other games would simply just light the corner up for you with floodlights or great big yellow flashing chevrons to tell you that. Well, you know, that's not a great gameplay experience. It doesn't give you a new level of challenge. So what we want to do is, if we're going to go up against the, you know, people like Forza and GTs, we want to make sure that we do baby steps and make sure that we get everything right from the ground up and do it in this 10 out of 10 way that, you know, people haven't seen before. Any designer's job, and as a lead designer, you have to kind of pull from your own experience and pull from other games and just kind of have that instinct of what is going to be kind of cool and fun. So when it came to night racing and like talking about that and brainstorming the direction that we're going to go, you know, I was thinking of Resident Evil and things like that, you know, where you're wandering around, you know, and you don't really want to turn that corner because you're not quite sure what's there, and you find yourself as a player walking quite slowly in that case. And Alan Wake, for example, like walking around with a torch, and it's your only kind of survival method, you know. And I was thinking, well, that's a scary place, and you've only got this tiny little thing for protection. And you know, when it comes to Shift 2 Unleashed, when you're playing night racing in the game, you've literally just got your headlights, and with the full damage system that we have now, as soon as those headlights are out, it's a very different experience, and yeah, it brings that kind of fear back into driving. But yeah, you were a bit different from other companies in that, you know, we have a London-based studio, but we have a distributed development model, which means that basically everyone can sit at home and work in their bedroom or their study or their home office or whatever.
You've got Lego, you've got PS3 Need for Speed Shift, but you've also got Masters of the Universe figurines, quite a collection behind us.
Yeah, figurines, I think you'll find them, they are action figures. Yeah.
So we've got things like the Lego cars here, you know, we've got all the different types of car that they create, like the muscle cars, and you know, you can even recreate Hot Pursuit if you really want with these kind of things. So yeah, you know, you got, at the end of the day, you got to remember that you're making games for kids, yeah. And as soon as you lose sight of that, then you realise you're only making the game for yourself, and you know, therefore, it's not potentially going to do as well as you hope. We've got our 360 coder in Australia, and
one car artist on Reunion Island in South Africa, which is just off the east coast. Another car artist in Florida, you know, and it's great because we only ever get experienced guys to work for us, and it works great for those guys because they've been in the industry for a while longer. They've probably got wives, kids, and it works great as a development model because you can't turn creativity on at 9 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes, you know, sometimes it comes at 4 in the afternoon. With a distributed development model, it means that those guys can come online, you know, in Australia time, and it means that you can come in the morning and something's magically been fixed by someone on another time zone. We've had absolutely unprecedented access to all the Team Need for Speed drivers. You know, they're all in different disciplines of time attack, drift, endurance, things like that. Little things like Jamie Campbell-Walter, GT1 driver, coming in and telling us that, you know, when he sat in his Sumo Power Nissan GTR GT1, that the viewpoint that we had in the game was a little bit lower than it was in reality when he sat in the car. So little things like that, you know, we change it, and then he comes back, you know, the next month, and he's like, guys, you got it spot on, and it sounds amazing and handles amazing, and you know, when you're doing Eau Rouge on Spa in the game, it's absolutely perfect. So yeah, it's great to have those guys on board. You know, other games will say that they've had race drivers helping them, etc. Yeah, you know, not to the extent that we've had access to in Shift 2. One thing we found in Need for Speed Shift was that the fans were making their own game modes, yeah? And one of the most popular game modes that people were making was called Catch Up. Closing the gap. Come on, Mini! So people were going to the Nordschleife, and they were all choosing like really low-end powered cars, so something like a Golf or a Focus or something like that. And then one guy was in a Bugatti Veyron. And what would happen is all the Golfs would set off, and then after a certain amount of time, they'd go, and the Veyron would then set off as well, and then it was who would get to the finish line first. And we were amazed at this, you know, look at what the community guys are doing. You know, we would be playing this mode and thinking, this is absolutely fantastic, you know. So we looked at that and we were like, let's make it official. So now you can play Catch Up Pack. And Catch Up Pack is basically the pack, all are in the same identical cars of lower performance. And then the chaser is the guy who's in the supercar. And so this kind of reminds you of like the kind of crazy challenges they do on Top Gear, don't they? You know, whether it's a car chasing a boat or a helicopter chasing a train or whatever. You know, this is the same kind of thing. So it's the pack's job to stay out in front and block, you know, the chaser, and the guy who gets to the finish line first is the winner. If a member of the pack gets to the finish line first, they then become the chaser. Easy. The Mini Cooper wins.
It's that time again, time for some new releases.
Now, every week, Johnny McActivision and Justin St. THQ put out new games, hoping to relieve you of your cash in exchange for shiny interactive light shows. And every week you comply, finding new ways to virtually kill American children from the impenetrable dungeon of your bedroom. Well, here's your games for Friday, 18th of March, you hopeless addicts.
First up, Motorstorm Apocalypse. At the time of recording, Motorstorm Apocalypse is still due out on PlayStation 3, although with this being an earthquake-set racing game released within a week of one of the biggest tremors ever recorded, that could well change. We'll keep you posted.
Homefront is also hitting the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 and PC this week.
Also out this week, sequels. Shogun 2 Total War, or Shogun Total War 2, or whatever you want to call it, is out on PC.
Sega's also releasing Yakuza 4 on the PlayStation 3 this week, which features 4 main characters. It's Yakuza 4. They've done it. I see what they've done.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not. Okay, MotoGP 1011 on PS3 and 360, and also Topspin 4 on PS3, 360 and Wii, complete with flaily armed move support on PS3.
Representing the original games this week is Japan. Go on, Japan. God's Eater Burst is on the PlayStation Portable, which is a somewhat grammatically confusing sequel, at least for me, to the original PlayStation Portable hit, God Eater. We've already reviewed it and given it a 7.5.
And then a Kamiden on DS. The little wolf becomes even littler on DS in the sequel, where you play as a smaller, cuter puppy.
Oh. We did a different or.
Oh, feedback. We can't get enough of you. That's why we can't stop endlessly refreshing our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/GameSpotUK and the GameSpot UK Start Select page. Also, we're never off Twitter, over on twitter.com/GameSpotUK.
Now, among our favourite feedback since the last show, we've had, over on the Start Select page, Start Select fan, he's named himself a fan of the show, said, what happened to Mark's usual happy gaming spotters, referring his sign-off from the show.
Sign-off, yeah.
I don't
okay.
know. He's not even on the show today,
Yeah.
so I'll say it at the end. How about that?
Yeah, and Sad PSP Addict says, I think the Roller Girls were a bit too hard on EA Sports Active 2. It offers a good mix of difficulty settings, and whilst I might not be a pro athlete, I spent a good portion of my life taking part in some sort of fitness program and think SA2 offers a good bit more than this video suggests. So that's on the Roller Derby fitness game group test of the last show.
Representing EA Sports Active. Lava Lamp Bamboo says, Call of Juarez looks interesting, but the graphics aren't really up to scratch. I hope the plot doesn't feature too many stereotypes. Also, does your office just have a big empty white room for no reason, or is that where you sacrifice interns?
Correct.
That is, yeah, we have to scrub the blood off the walls, but otherwise it's a great little room, yeah.
Over on Facebook, meanwhile, also on the last show's Call of Juarez video, Stephen Quick says, with Red Dead Redemption, a cowboy game, one of the most popular and well-regarded of last year, and True Grit in the cinema gathering momentum, cowboyness is on trend. So kudos to Jane for not grabbing Blaze and screaming "why" in his face. Call of Juarez looks bloody awful, designed by a 13-year-old kid who has just discovered action movies.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Ouch. Smackdown laid down there.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Shane the Wolf says, I was sceptical about Call of Juarez in a modern setting, but it looks good. If they have the same strong character development and great storytelling of the previous games, I think it could be excellent. So a real mix of emotions on the various channels this week.
Competition time. Last time on Start Select we had 10 PS3 First Strike COD Black Ops codes to give away with a super amazing PS3 Prestige Edition. That's the one with the RC car for the first name out of the GameSpot UK hat. The question was, what year did the first COD game come out in? And the answer was 2003. The winners are...
Mike Johnston from Cumbria, he gets the Prestige Edition.
And Fraser Stancombe from Brighton.
Graham Russell from West Sussex.
David Coningsby from Leicester.
George Luis Espina Orozco from West Croydon.
Martin Richard Rumble from Bedfordshire.
Roger Voong from London.
Dami Oresigan from Northamptonshire.
Sebastian Jarmula from London.
And Jacob Phillipson from Hereford.
This time we've got an Xbox 360 console bundled with the Blob 2, the paint-tastic platformer from Australian studio Blue Tongue Entertainment, which is of course the sequel to the 2008 Wii exclusive.
And to win, answer us this question on colour. What do the letters CMYK stand for in the CMYK colour model? It was either that or what do you get when you mix red and yellow? Answers to competitions at gamespot.co.uk as ever, along with your postal address please.
All right, that's it, people. Run along. That's it for Start Select this week. But between now and the next show, be sure to come back to GameSpot UK's London Calling blog next week on the 21st of March, when we're going to be giving away a new shiny Sony Xperia Play phone.
Also, send us your comments and questions over on Twitter at GameSpot UK or on Facebook, which is facebook.com/GameSpot UK, and get your competition entries to competitions at gamespot.co.uk. And we'll see you next time.
Happy gaming, spotters!